But we're next to one of the big patriotic monuments in Bulgaria, in the city park. Imagination to figure out from the clothing, the armament, the flags, the postures, that this is a celebration of some kind of victory or freedom. From this side with the motorcycle, the lady handing out, I think, are probably grapes, and then a child with a urn full of water, perhaps. First I thought was holding a hand grenade, but I think it is. Or maybe an apple, but it looks a lot like a hand grenade. Or military comrades greeting each other with exuberance. And there a young girl examining the medals of a soldier. Figure out we're finally at Eagle's Most, in other words, Eagle's Bridge. And this would have been the opposite from the other gate we were at, entry to the old city. And down there the river, I guess. Park, and that must be the Arena Lake, or however they pronounce it, or at least part of it. Setting almost like the Chinese. Piano promoting the music festival. Continues any further or not. And I'm kind of thinking I'm on that diagonal red line, except because there's park on either side. I was walking in that park. Now I'm going to continue on this trail, like also at a diagonal, but there's no street running through this park on the map. So nice walk through. Walked me from way over to the left where I had wandered, and I think because I think of Sofia as being larger than it actually is, so I walked great distances thinking I'm covering the right amount of ground, and it was much shorter. Same problem this morning. So now I'm right down here. I'm right at this bridge you're going to see in a second. I have to go up this street, and then I'll get to where I want to go. I don't know what this one is. That's obviously has to do with farm girls, and each one of these probably is a different character. The river looks much prettier because it's all green. A pretty church. I'll go over and see what it is in a moment. And a lovely park. And as the girls said, it's very easy to get confused in Sofia because there's lots of parks. Particularly if I said, as I said I was doing, you orientate yourself off park. Of this church, I couldn't go in because they were having a mass, but it is a spectacularly beautiful on the inside. It's all painted lovely colors and a beautiful, what looks like gold iconostasi. There's a bookseller's market all through here. The building looks abandoned, at least the first two floors, for window work. Looking back towards the Colosseum now. A lot of activity takes place in between trams. Quickly. Fair goes on quite a distance. Grouping of buildings just a half a block off from the street I've been hiking. Just a pretty building. The balconies are just for architectural decoration. A huge, almost absolutely flat valley. Just a half an hour before we get to Plovdiv. To the right is where the bus station was, or is, and there's where I got my change at Western Union. Don't know what that square down there is. Western Union, she said if I just stay on the street, I will find the Tremontium, or whatever the hell it is, Tremontium Hotel. This one falling in disrepair from 1910, and back behind there looks like to be some interesting building, but here are a couple other pretty buildings, again falling in disrepair sadly, except for that one looks like it's maintained and the others down there do. I'm on ulica Ivan Vazov, who was, I think, either a great painter or a playwright or both. One on the right restored a bit, and one on the far left same. Detail always adds something to a building. A plain one, but one that could be restored there. Neighborhood. And a spectacular new building right down the street, maybe heralding the change to this neighborhood. I hope not for it. Taking instructions from people. I'm supposed to go the opposite direction the camera is facing and continue straight ahead until I come to the Tremontium Hotel. But what I've encountered is a huge square. And the road goes to the left and the road goes to the right and not straight ahead. So there's the problem. I did ask somebody, but there's no way you would know this is Tremontium Hotel until you wandered around and saw it down here. Yes, is the bus stop, which is across the street and down a little ways from the hotel, probably over there. It took me 2 hours and probably 5 different sets of people to try to find, and ultimately did find, the Art Deco style hostel, which is not a hostel. All it is 2 rooms inside of somebody's apartment, a very old lady and her, I guess, younger son, and they've just converted 2 bedrooms into dorm rooms, if you will. And that's it, in a tenement type building, what we would call a tenement anywhere in the United States. It's one of those old buildings we've seen with the graffiti all over the place, everything old. So I would not stay there, and I was angry at how bad the directions were. A fellow there said he knew of a place. I asked him where. When he finally got done explaining to me how to get there, I said, what is it? He says, Hostel Mostel. I said, that's where I should have gone at first. And that's right down this street here, in a pretty little house I'll show later.